If your attic space isn't properly ventilated, then I can guarantee that your roof is not going to last its entire lifespan. It's a lot better to spend that small chunk of change on an upgraded roof vent than a huge chunk of change on an entirely new roof. This video is going to go over whether or not you need to upgrade your roof ventilation system, and if so, what vents to upgrade it to. I'm Brandon Hafeli with Bill Reagan Roofing Company, and thank you so much for watching the Roofing Channel. Let's go ahead and get started. What is a properly ventilated attic? Before we talk about what kind of roof ventilation systems work, it's important to know what that roof ventilation system is trying to do. A well-ventilated attic needs two things: an intake vent to bring in the fresh air from the outside, and an outtake, also called an exhaust, to keep the air circulating and to make sure that the air inside the attic is not too hot compared to the air outside. Now that we know how a properly ventilated attic works, that brings us to: should you upgrade your intake vents? When we use the term upgrade with intake vents, it's a little misleading simply because there aren't really any bad apples when it comes to intake vents. As long as you have one and it's unobstructed, the intake vent should be doing its job. One of our most commonly seen intake vents is a perforated soffit vent. It's exactly what it sounds like. You can check your soffits, and if they have a bunch of little holes in them, that means they're serving it as an intake vent. Another commonly seen vent is a vent located at the end of your gable, often referred to as the gable end vent. If you have either one of these intake vents, then you should be good to go. If you don't, then it's difficult and sometimes even impossible to retrofit one of these. If this is you, then you probably want to install a shingle over intake vent on your roof. They're great because they do the job, they're low profile, and you can retrofit them if you need to. Our brand of choice is the Deck Air Roof Vent by Lamanco. Do you need to upgrade outtake vents? This part is probably the one that you're here to see. When most people hear the word roof vent, and outtake vent is what comes to their mind. Outtake vents, again, also called exhaust vents, come in many different forms, and there's honestly not too many ways that you can go wrong with them. There is, however, one very popular type of vent that we do not recommend, and that's the box vent. The reason box vents are as popular as they are is because they're low price point. However, you also see box vents lining the ridges of people's homes. The reason for that is because you need a lot of box vents before they start to accomplish their objective. It's a lot better to get 1 or 2 moderately priced vents that do the job of 7 or 8 cheaply priced vents. The reason we don't recommend a box vent is because it's a form of a passive roof vent. That means that there's no suction or force or drawing effect or anything that really pushes that hot, stuffy air out of the attic. What vents should you upgrade to? For homes that are looking to upgrade, we can recommend 3 different types of vents. First one is a turbine vent, a very popular vent that we would recommend for any open attic spaces. It's more expensive than a box vent, but it's still moderately priced to where it's affordable. And more importantly, it's an active roof vent, meaning you're going to see a drawing effect. The second type of roof vent that we would recommend is one that would go on cathedral ceilings or attic systems that you can't walk in. That's a ridge vent with a baffle. They're low profile and discreet, and they get the job done. Now, some homeowners who are looking for a great high efficiency venting solution turn to an electric power vent. And while this is certainly a good vent, as the technology has improved for solar, we've been recommending solar powered vents instead of their electric cousins. Just by themselves, the solar power vent costs more than the electric power vent. However, the electric power vent needs to be installed by an electrician and a roofer. We find that those two fees combined often meet the price of a solar power vent. And at that point, just to avoid the extra wiring, we heavily recommend going with the solar power vent. There you have it. Attic ventilation is the #1 way that you can maximize your roof's lifespan, but there are other ways. To learn more about that, click on the link below or at the end of this video to watch our video on the 6 maintenance tips to improve your roof lifespan. I'm Brandon Hafeli with Bill Reagan Roofing Company, and thank you again for watching the Roofing Channel. Make sure to like and subscribe so we can spread more helpful information to homeowners like yourself, and leave a comment down below with any topics that you'd like to see covered. We'll see you next time.